Good morning, Niagara. You're tuned into Car Connection, where the coffee's hot, tools are ready, talk is always tuned up. I'm your host, Niall Motormouth Jenkins, coming to you straight from the Car Connection workshop, where we mix a little humor, a little know-how, and a whole lot of horsepower. Here it's not just about fixing cars, it's about keeping you rolling and saving you money, giving you the confidence to understand what's under that hood. From the classics to the commuters, the weird noises, and those what the heck moments, we've got you covered. So grab your coffee, sit back, join the crew, because this is Car Connection, your Saturday morning and Monday through Friday morning pit stop for stories, smarts, few good laughs. I'm Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We're in the driver's seat, and we are shifting gears this morning. Lots of things going on around us as the summer begins to kick off. And all kinds of fundraising events, car shows, special activities all around us. So, don't sit at home and mope. Get out there and do some stuff. Get involved. And that's what Car Connection has always been about now in our 32nd year. We will be in Stevensville. I will be in the official Stevensville Springfest Dunk Tank on Saturday, June the 6th. And I don't think if you come on out, you will have no difficulty finding me. We've already tested the water gear that I will be wearing, adorning for the day, taking my shift in the fundraising dunk tank. So I'm not sure what the price tag are for the tickets, but we're going to have as much fun as we possibly can. And I'm thinking that water in that dunk tank is going to be so cold that my body will form a giant goose pimple. So you want to definitely stop on by for Springfest 2026. It's our first fundraising event on the docket for summer 2026. We'll have one of our event vehicles there. It's kind of up in the air at the moment which one's going to be in attendance, but we'll have one of vehicles that we have put together over the many decades with us. Along with us, and some giveaways. There's music, there's food, there's a touch a truck, there's vendors, there's door prizes. The list of stuff going on for Springfest is a mile long, so check that out. You can get more details at stevensvilleontheweb.ca. We are also located there as one of the professionals in our field, the automotive field. Just click on the businesses tab. You'll find us there. Well, a special good morning to you. For those who are listening, just getting back to work after a long weekend. Well, this is what I like to call Monday, Tuesday. Exactly. Is it Tuesday or is it Monday right now? Because it's the first day back to work. I don't know. You decide. Well, if you're scooting through the drive-through and today is Tuesday for you, second day back to a work week, check your order, lock it down. We're going to have a swiggy in about 45 seconds, so hang on. And I'll have the daily weather. It's looking more betterer. I think we got something brewing that's real good over the next 10 days. Well, this morning's topic, we're going to take a step back. I have 5 things that matter most when it comes to taking care of your automobile. And I always like to remind you that mileage does not matter. Maintenance does. And the vehicles that we drive every single day, our daily drivers, can be 10 years old, 15 years old, or like myself, 19 and 20 years old. And you might say, well, you're a mechanic. That has nothing to do with it, folks. It doesn't. That's the talking heads. Because I still have to, as I always say, I don't get parts for free. I have to find the time to get the work done. And if I take time away from our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and this podcast that goes all over the planet, it takes time to run it all. And it's all scheduled. And it has to run on time. And it has to be It has to be recorded. It has to be edited. It's got to be scheduled. And you got to stay with it right to the very end. So if I'm pulling time from somewhere, I'm losing time elsewhere. You follow me? So my time isn't free, just like you. It isn't. It is not free. If I take 15 hours away from what I'm doing with Car Connection, I've got 15 hours that I need to make back up because I've taken it from what I call the hour meter to do all the things that I do with Car Connection and have been for now in our 32nd year. So this morning we're going to take a step back and talk about the basics never change. So if you would like to learn how to keep and maintain an older automobile and save a whole lot of money and put more money back in your pocket than in the pockets of the banks, the lending institutions, then you know what? You're on the right channel, because that's what I know how to do, and I've been doing it for over 4.5 decades. And I can teach you the same thing, and it really is not difficult. Man makes things complicated. And when it comes to automotive, it doesn't need to be complicated. The basics never change. Do the basics on whether it's a 3-year-old vehicle or a 23-year-old vehicle. Mileage does not matter, and it never has. It's maintenance. It doesn't matter what you have in your hands. It needs maintenance. And if you're not willing to do that, things come unglued. Am I right? Absolutely. Things come unglued, and you're trading time for money every single day to buy the same things you've already purchased already, because lack of maintenance wipes it out. And then you got to go get another one. Yeah, planned obsolescence. It's a real problem that we have to reverse. So if you're looking to keep that older vehicle longer, you are in great position right now. Best vehicle in the driveway right now, the one that is paid for, it's solid, and all you need to do is fuss over it and maintain it. So I have 5 things for you this morning that matter most when it comes to keeping your vehicle long term. And I'm going to keep drilling that home, because the talking heads have gotten into many of your heads into thinking a vehicle's done in like 3 to 5 years. For that kind of money, you got to be out of your mind. I'm not throwing down that kind of money if that's all you got to give me in return, my return on my investment, ROI. And if you're working with a certified financial planner, they'll tell you that. There's not very good ROI on anything, return on your investment, if you don't take care of it. House included. Anything around you, it's all included. It needs to be taken care of. And when you don't, neglect sets in. And that's what takes your automobile out, is neglect. And most of you know that. I'm going to say pretty much all of you know what happens when you neglect your automobile to a point where there's no turning back. You've crossed the Rubicon. Now you're in a bad place. If you don't have the finances to replace it, now what? And I can't tell you the number of times I've had that conversation when we had our own shop on the Hamilton Mountain. That was a constant problem. And that's why I developed, at that time, the Car Connection maintenance kit, which we've totally redone, and it's posted on its own page in our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Go and take a look at it. If you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, it has special pricing just for you. So how long would your car last if you actually followed a maintenance plan? That's my ultimate question to all of you. How long would it last? Well, I can tell you from experience, till you're done. Till you say, you know what, I'm going to find something else and move on to something different. Or this vehicle doesn't work for me anymore. I'm going to offer it up for sale and go and find something else in my price budget. So we've rebuilt and laminated a reusable fleet maintenance system that makes it simple. As I've said before, if you can follow your own grocery list and check off the items as they go into your basket, you can certainly operate our reusable fleet maintenance system that makes it simple. And so that page is fully up and running. There's an order form there, so you can order your fleet maintenance package. And if you can follow 3 simple instructions on how to use it, and I mean that, 3 very simple instructions, the rest is all done for you. Just follow the list. That's all you have to do. Follow the list. Put a check mark or an X or a heart, whatever you want, in the box that indicates that maintenance has been done. Check it off. And when you're completely done for the year, you wipe the whole thing off and start again. That's what you do. And it works like a charm. And that's the system I've been operating on for 44 years. It works. I'm not here to convince anybody. It simply works. It's super simple and it works. Well, let's jump into this morning's program. Let's start off with our morning swiggy. So you should have your favorite morning beverage, whatever that is, by now. And let's say thank you to Niagara Block at 5000 Montrose Road, Niagara Falls, for building Canada since 1931 with building supplies, all the block and metal and rebar that you need to put your building together, as well as their specialty is hardscape landscape materials. So if you're looking to landscape your home, your property, your cottage, or just create that beautiful backyard space that you've always wanted, that's where you can get it done. If you talk to Kathy, David, or Dan, the Grimo family, they'll take very, very good care of you. If you're looking to create an English walkway, they have everything you can imagine and then some. If you need a contractor, you speak to Kathy Grimo and ask her to give you a referral to a contractor that can take the whole project on from you and get it done without any headaches. Well, with as few headaches as possible. The weather is a challenge when you're working outside. That is for sure. So that's Niagara Block, 5000 Montrose Road. You can find them, our program partners, on the homepage of our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. That's ccbusnet.com. So let's count it down. 3, 2, 1. That's how we do it here, and have a swiggy. And thank you to Niagara Block this morning. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that is so good today. You ever get that, where your favorite morning beverage is like over the top from yesterday, and yesterday's was good. Fantastic. Well, let's take a look at our daily weather. We are improving, so that's a good thing, right? I think so, because I'll tell you, I walked on the backyard yesterday to go to the mini barn. We were shooting videos, and we were trying out the gear for the dunk tank. Yeah, so you're gonna have to watch out for that. Our Skippy, our videographers, putting up reels and bloopers and stuff on Facebook and Instagram, and Stevensville on the web.ca, and all those links are there for you on the homepage of our website, ccbusnet.com. We've got our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, Stevensville on the web, iHeartRadio. We're on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and Podbean, wherever you're pulling your podcast from, we are there. And we also have our online store as well. Buy some Motormouth Car Connection merchandise and help someone that's struggling with addictions get to a Total Freedom Addictions campus, Canada and USA. So we forgo any profitability on any of the items and give it back to Total Freedom Addiction campuses to help that next person that has made that decision to take on their addiction and say goodbye to it forever and get a life back. So if you want to jump in and join the crew and come alongside and help us change a life one at a time, we thank you so much for doing that. And for our program partners, we simply would not be here without them. Because last I asked Deb to be our accountant, are we sending invoices to the listeners? No, should we? Panic. I go, no, I'm just kidding. Are we sending any invoices to those that are checking into our YouTube channel? Were we supposed to be doing that? I go, no. Oh, okay. Then just carry on. Send the bill to the program partners. That's what I'm doing, she says. That's what I'm doing. So we're in good shape because we have the program partners that provide just enough funding to keep the lights on and keep the microphone running. And we're working hard, Skippy and I, to get to monetization so it'll make things a whole lot easier. But if you want to support the podcast and the YouTube channel, we have a page set up on buymeacoffee.com/Motormouth Nile, N-I-L-E. And so you can safely donate and buy Skippy and I a coffee. We would certainly appreciate it. That would help us to keep this engine running. So 52 degrees right now. Cloudy. Wind is making it feel a whole lot cooler at 51 degrees. Partly cloudy conditions from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. with mostly sunny conditions expected around 9 a.m. That's nice. We can dry out a little bit. Today's temperature range is 51 to 75, and it's going to feel more like 51 to 73 degrees. And today's top out will be 75 degrees. Woot, woot. Absolutely. Right on. And yesterday we hit a 68. It turned out not too bad yesterday. Wind was a little cool here on the south shores of Lake Erie. And then later on in the afternoon, this thick fog rolled in off the lake. And the visibility was really changing. And nothing was on the weather report about that yesterday. But I guess they can't track that very well. Precipitation today, we are at a 0. That's fantastic. Let's jump into our topic this morning, and I'm going to break that out for you. Again, 5 things that matter most is taking a step back and just learning to do the basics. And I've pulled out, I was thinking yesterday, what are the most important 5 aspects or things to keep an automobile rolling, regardless of mileage. Just doing the basic things to stay ahead of the curve. And, how many times I've seen over the years a $200 repair, had it been paid attention to and taken care of immediately, if not sooner, would have saved you thousands. I've seen the $200 repair turn into a $5,000 repair bill because of neglect. Just kind of, I don't want to know. I can't afford to pay for that, but you can't afford to let it fester and get to the next level either, because it's mechanical and things go wrong. In the automobile world, there's cause and effect all the time. This happened, and then it caused that to happen, which caused that to happen. And had we got it in the beginning, it would have just been this item right here. And that's kind of what's happened with our 2007 FJ Cruiser with just below 400,000 kilometers. It's just basic upgrade maintenance. See and check things and go, that's questionable. We really ought to change that now before that becomes a problem on the highway. So let's jump in and into this morning's 5 things that matter the most that will save you time and money when it comes to owning an automobile, and it doesn't matter how old it is. Okay, folks? It does not. It does not matter how old it is. These 5 things apply no matter what, because what should we have learned by now? Maintenance matters, mileage doesn't. And when you don't do maintenance, there is repercussions because of that. Things go awry very, very quickly. So, number one, we need to focus on basic vehicle maintenance. That's it. Let's not complicate it. Let's not spin in a different orbit than we're spinning in already. Let's just focus on basic vehicle maintenance. Number two, it begins with the LOFG. Just, can you remember that? Okay, write that down. You got your crayons this morning, your 16 pack of Crayolas, big leaf bag. Yeah, you can jot stuff down anywhere on a leaf bag with a crayon. You can capture the moment. LOFG, lube, oil, and filter for gasoline engine. Now, if that was a diesel, what would it be? LOFD. And that was the acronym we used in the shop as far back as I can remember, even working for others. We saw that on our worksheet for the vehicle that was brought into our very own service bay. That's our customer. We knew LOFG meant it was going to be lube, oil, and filter for gasoline engine. So, and what did that mean in longer terms? Was check everything. Lube, oil, filter, gasoline, not just drop the oil, put a filter on, fill it up, and kick it out the door. No, that meant a full service. That's what we were doing to a gasoline-powered engine. A full service. So let's move on. So that's the basics. So focus on basic vehicle maintenance. That's all. Don't make it complicated. Don't turn shrubs into trees. We need to do an LOFG, and not at the drive-through centers. No disrespect to any of them. Let me put that out there. You need a trained eye to look your vehicle over and do that LOFG, that lube, oil, and filter for gasoline engine. Gives the technician an opportunity to really look your vehicle over and bring anything that needs to have immediate attention to you right away. So that's where you have a trained tech looking your vehicle over while he's changing the oil and the filter and making recommendations. And that's where I say there's 3 lists come from that. This needs to be taken care of now, this in the near future, and this is coming up in the distant future. That way, as a tech, I'm helping you plan out your maintenance strategy so you don't get behind the 8 ball and end up having a massive repair bill, because that can be avoided very easily by doing exactly what I'm talking about right now. Keep the basics the basics. Don't go over the line. Don't spin it into something else. Get your tech, book the vehicle in, get your tech to do the lube, oil, and filter service. And give them the permission to look it over. Just say, hey, Skippy, do a good job. Look it over. If you see anything, please let me know. Just give them that permission. But if you're in a shop where your heart says, I don't trust this guy, then that's an area you need to fix, and we'll talk about that in another program. How important it is to have a repair shop. When Joe says he's checked all the tires, you don't even need to ask him, has he checked the spare tire to make sure, you're good there. Should the spare be called upon, you're ready. That's the kind of relationship that you have to have with your repair technician, whatever shop it is. If you're going to a shop where the guys rotate in and out of the door like you change your socks, your vehicle's not going to be maintained well. You need a tech that you build a relationship with that gets to know you and your car. Okay? Next, number 3, tire rotations. How important is that? First of all, tires are bloody expensive. Did I say bloody? Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's a curse word in England. I was born there. We've forgotten and gotten away from that. Okay, we have tires that are what are called rotational. So that means we can't swap them side to side anymore, just front to back. And they have arrows on to tell you if you screw it up and put a tire on the other side of the car where the arrow is going the wrong direction. Yeah, so they're directional tires. But if you want longer life out of your tires, there's a couple of things you have to do. Maintain the tire pressures religiously. And number 2, get them rotated. And my general rule of thumb, which is on our reusable car connection fleet maintenance system, is every second oil change, tire rotation, no matter what Joe the mechanic says. Oh, they look good. Rotate them out. 2 things are going to happen there. We're sticking with the basics. That gives me, as a tech, an opportunity to really take a look at your brakes. I've got to take the wheels off, move the front ones to the back ones to the front, put them back on, torque the wheel bolts back to manufacturer spec. I do them by hand all the time. And that gives me an opportunity to give you a full report on how are your brakes doing all the way around. So I'm not doing a peekaboo and guessing what your brakes look like. I'm pulling wheels and shifting them around so I get to have a really good bird's eye view. How is Mrs. Smith's brakes really doing? And give you a full report. Are they good today? Is there some work coming up? Are there things broken? Are there things worn out that I need to get on the phone and say, Mrs. Smith, we got a brake issue and we need to take care of it today. And we have the time to do it and give you a proper estimate and a breakdown and even send you some pictures, maybe even a short video. Boom, send it over to you so you can look at that and see what I see and go, yeah, I guess we need to take care of that business. That's a tech working for you. And with today's technology, it reduces the inconvenience having to go down to the shop to look at it. We can take pictures, we can shoot a video and fire it over and let you see it in real time. How cool is that? That's really cool. So tire rotations, you'll get maximum tire life. 2 things, keep the tire pressures up and maintained every single month, and every second oil change, rotate them out. Fronts to the back, backs to the front. Boom. Done. Number 4, fluids. Now, we've pounded the pavement on this before. And the reason I will continually do that, because it is one of the basics that always seems to get neglected. For whatever reason, I'm not sure if it is the power and mental telepathy of the talking heads that convinces you that all the fluids that your vehicle holds are good for the lifetime of a human being, not an automobile, the lifetime of a human being. And it is definitely not true. It can't be any further from the truth. So fluids, your vehicle has them. They wear out from constant heating and cooling and heating and cooling. They deteriorate. They get contaminated. There isn't a fluid in your automobile right now as you're driving down the road, if you're hearing my voice, that doesn't wear out. It doesn't get dirty. It doesn't have particles in the fluid causing damage to the components the fluid's protecting. There isn't a emergency warning lamp on those fluids until it's too late, like when the oil light comes on or something's flashing in the dash. Things have been happening for a while. By the time that happens, there's a reason we've called them for many years idiot lights. Because by the time it comes on, you guessed it, what an idiot. Exactly. So how do we prevent that stuff from happening? We need to change the fluids out. That's where having a gold technician working for you that's making the recommendations on a regular basis, that's not selling, not a salesman in a jumper suit, not selling you and upselling you things and products you don't need, but really looking out for your vehicle's maintenance level and keeping you up to date. That's what's important. And like I said, I will do a program, and we're just going to talk about how do you establish that working relationship with a shop. There are a number of techniques to be able to do it, and find that service tech that you come to know. They get to know you and your vehicles, and you're in a good place. Because when you have that, you have peace of mind. But if you don't have that, then you know what? You're always going to be wondering, did he really do that? Am I paying for something I didn't really need? Or, he says he did it, but for sure, did he really do it? Did he really take care of that? If you walk away and those are questions in your mind, you're not in the right place. You're not in a happy place. You're not in a safe place. And worst of all, you don't have peace of mind. So in another program, we will cover that. So let's back up, just do a quick recap. Focus on basic vehicle maintenance. We're not turning trees into shrubs. We're not rebuilding and restoring the automobile. We're just doing the basic maintenance to stay ahead of the curve so that maintenance doesn't get away from you and turn a repair bill into a nightmare. And that happens way too often. Lube, oil, and filter, whether it's for a gasoline or a diesel-powered vehicle, that gives the tech the opportunity to play I Spy. That's what I used to call it. And that's what my military instructor would say. He'd say, I spy. And if he didn't see anything on the list on the vehicle you were working on, he would go and look at it. And then if he came back and he had a list and you missed stuff, you just got taught a really big lesson. You're not taking care of the customer. His big thing was, we don't want our customers bringing their cars in on the back of a flatbed. We don't need that to happen. We're here to prevent that from happening. Tire rotations. Tires are freaking expensive. So how do we keep them, and how do we keep them longer and get better life out of them? Tire rotations, every second oil change. Number 4, the fluids. They are not lifetime. They are not maintenance free. We need to forget about that conversation 100%. That's what will tend to put your vehicle into a very, very dangerous maintenance level. Fluids are protecting very expensive components that are worth a whole lot less. The fluids are worth a whole lot less than the components they're protecting for you. So do we want to listen to those who have no stinking idea other than how to sell you another automobile? No. They have an agenda. What is it? Move the sheet metal and rubber. That's what the sales guys used to always say at the dealership I was working at with Volkswagen. Move the sheet metal and rubber, Jenkins. And they literally would want me to tell customers their car's expiring so that they could sell a car that day. And I'd look at them and go, I have a conscience. Go get a life. Go back to your corner. So next is filters. Again, we have a number of filters on our automobiles that need to be replaced. The engine filter is critical. If it's plugged up, then the engine's running hotter. Instead of getting fresh oxygen into the engine to cool it, it's getting restricted airflow and the air temperature gets hot. That's why we have a little sensor in the intake manifold, which is the area where the fresh air gets sucked into. It's called a intake air temperature sensor. So the computer is monitoring the temperature of the air intake. So the air coming in, getting sucked into the engine to create complete combustion of the fuel and air mixture. So if that air becomes contaminated and restricted, and the computer flags that sensor saying the intake air temperature sensor saying the intake manifold's getting way too hot, you're doing serious engine damage. By the time, again, the idiot light comes on, the damage is already being done. So that's where preventative maintenance and basic maintenance prevents that stuff from happening. So filters need to be replaced. They need to be checked and replaced on a regular basis, because here's the thing. In the owner's manual, it might say engine air filter every 35,000 kilometers. How can the manufacturer make that judgment call? A, the vehicle's just coming off the assembly line. It hasn't even gone to a dealership for resale. The next caregiver of that automobile has not been selected or stepped forward yet. And when that happens, did the manufacturer know that you live in a dirt country lane road, like a gravel road where the dust is flying when the cars are going down it, and there's dirt blowing off the farmer's field when he's cultivating? Did the manufacturer know that that's where the car that just came off the assembly line was going to live? Absolutely not. So, as a manufacturer's representative said to me one-on-one at a lunch meeting, he said, Niall, the owner's manual and the recommendations from the factory are only suggestions. Suggestions. We can't take that to be the Bible, he said. They're just maintenance suggestions. That's all. So what does that mean for us? The basics never change. We need someone to look out for us and make sure that we're on top of these things before they get to the next level. So plugged and restricted filters, whether it's a cabin air filter, engine air filter, oil filter, transmission filter, and I think that's almost all of them. When they get restricted and they're dirty and they've captured too much dirt, and it changes the maintenance level of the items that those filters are protecting. So in other words, the protection is reduced vastly by wear and tear. If we leave those filters in there forever and ever, something is going to give, and it's going to be very expensive. That's what you have to know. That's why doing just the basics puts you in a position to win, regardless of mileage. So keep those things in mind, and it will keep your vehicle out of trouble and reduce the opportunity of having one of those ginormous repair bills, because there is always going to be cause and effect. So if we neglect the basic maintenance on an automobile, you know what that tells me? There's no chance that you're ever going to do major maintenance and repairs. If you can't take care of the basics, you're certainly not going to like the expense of what comes next when we do that. So when neglect sets in to an automobile, it generally takes thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars to get that vehicle back up to speed. And the proof of that is, if you haven't signed up for our YouTube channel, every video teaches you 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, or how you broke it, and what you could have understood, just a little bit more information to help you prevent that damage from happening. And that's how it works. That is the pattern failure right there. Knowing the 5 things: what it is, where it's located on your automobile, how it works, how it's supposed to work, and how it broke. What caused the damage? Was it lack of understanding on how it works? We just finished and wrapped up a 4-part series. I broke it down into bite-sized chunks. How to understand your vehicle's air conditioning system and save you thousands and thousands of unnecessary repairs. just by simply learning how does it work, getting an understanding, and how do I work it properly. So how do I turn it on, and how do I turn it off properly, and how do I maintain it to prevent from getting to thousands of dollars in repairs that could have been avoided. So that's what this channel is all about. That's what I'm all about. That is the lane that I've been carving out for decades, and I continue to do so by reaching out to you and saying, hey, are you willing to listen and do? That's simple. Listen and do. Just like an apprentice. When I was taking on apprentices in our shop, the first thing I would tell them is what I learned from my military instructor was, you listen, then do. But if you're not even listening and you're not even doing, then the results of that are going to be something that you're not going to like at all. So we can avoid that very, very much. So if you want to save time, money, and maybe even a few bloodied knuckles, you're on the right channel. And that's what our YouTube channel is all about. We post 3 new videos every week, and every single video is a teaching video to show you those 5 things and help you to grab hold of the basic vehicle maintenance, to understand it and tear it down and go, oh, I didn't know that. Those are the moments that save you money. So till tomorrow, make it a great day. The sun is shining here down on us on the south shores of Lake Erie, and that is a good start to the day. That is for sure. Everything we talk about here is you can find in the biggest drawer in our toolbox, which we call our website. So you don't have a million things you have to sift through. Go to our website, Car Connection Business Network. That's where I vet businesses in and around our local area and a little bit out of town to refer you to. And during the COVID thing, we lost most of that. It all fell apart, and I'm working hard to bring it back because it really helped a lot of people having referrals for different professions and services. So we're continuing to work on that to bring that back to you so that you have access to that. All our recommended businesses and program partners are on the homepage of our website. Click on their logo, open their profile page, and meet them. You can go even further and link through to their website as well and get an opportunity to connect. So if you have financial questions, whether it's with investment portfolio, you're carrying a ton of debt that's weighing you down, you don't have an estate plan, you need a mortgage arranging with great rates, I have to tell you. I haven't had a mortgage with a bank since I met Tony and Larry 20 years ago. Life insurance, critical illness insurance, all those things need to be taken care of that we don't like to talk about. So an hour and a coffee. That's your discovery meeting to get your questions answered and bring clarity. If you're wanting clarity in your life when it comes to finances, you definitely need to work with someone who has the CFP credentials before their name. Certified Financial Planning Professional. So leave your wallet at home, leave your purse at home, grab that hour and a coffee. You can make arrangements to meet any which way you want and just get it done. Get your questions answered. Watch what happens to your life. You'll get that peace of mind. You truly, truly will. If you or someone you know is shopping for an automobile, you know, there's a lot of places where you can end up buying a skunk in a mink coat or lipstick on a pig, and that's not what you want. What you want is low mileage, quality vehicle at fair prices. Then that's Greater Toronto Area's pre-owned premier auto store with Earl and Louise Grant City Auto Sales and Leasing. Trust me, if you got to drive 2 days and take your jammies and your toothbrush to get there, to be able to buy a vehicle with confidence, and be treated with nothing less than honesty and integrity, that's Earl and Louise Grant. That's City Auto Sales. Let them know that I sent you. So till tomorrow, drive safe, happy, healthy motoring, peace, patience, and kindness always. And we'll see you in the next one tomorrow morning to join us for Motormouth's morning drive, 8 a.m., Monday through Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow, friends. Bye for now.